The bus wheezed to a stop at the edge of the city, its brakes squealing like a goat in labor. I clutched my cotton sari's palu, the one with the faded green border I'd worn to every wedding in our village for 20 years. My name is Suman Devi, but everyone back home calls me Suman Chachi. I stepped down, my rubber chap pals slapping against the dusty platform, and looked around. Towering buildings, honking cars, and people rushing like ants on a hot plate. This wasn't my world. My world was the mango orchard behind our mud brick house, the temple bell at dawn, and my son, Arjun, who'd left for the city 10 years ago to make something of himself. Arjun was getting married. To a city girl. A software engineer. The words felt foreign in my mouth, like trying to chew betel nut without pan masala. His letter had arrived 3 months ago, written in his neat handwriting. Ma, her name is Priya. She's modern, but she respects our values. Come for the wedding. I've booked you a room in a hotel. A hotel. I'd never slept anywhere but my charpoi under the neem tree. I had a plan. Not a grand one, but a mother's plan. Arjun had always been my pride, my only child after his father passed when he was 12. I'd sold my gold bangles to pay for his engineering college, stitched clothes for neighbors to cover his hostel fees. He was my sun, my moon, my everything. But this Priya, I didn't know her. What if she was one of those city girls who looked down on village folk? What if she laughed at my cracked heels or my Hindi sprinkled with Bhojpuri? I'd heard stories of daughters-in-law who sent their Susumas to old-age homes. I wasn't going to let that happen. So, I decided to play a role. I'd be the poor, naive mother-in-law, wide-eyed and simple, the kind who'd make Priya feel superior, generous, in control. If she thought I was harmless, she'd let her guard down. I'd watch her, learn her, and protect my place in Arjun's life. It wasn't deceit, I told myself. It was strategy. The auto rickshaw driver charged me double because I looked lost. I didn't argue. I handed over the crumpled 100-rupee note and tucked the change into my blouse. The hotel Arjun had booked was called Sunshine Residency. It had a glass door that slid open on its own, like magic. The man at the counter wore a tie and spoke English English so fast I barely caught my name when he asked for it. Room for Suman Devi, I said, holding out Arjun's letter like it was a passport. He glanced at my sari, my cloth bag with a patched-up zipper, and my bindi slightly off-center from the bus ride. I saw the flicker of pity in his eyes. Good. Let him think I'm a simpleton. The room was smaller than my cow shed but cleaner than our village temple. A bed with white sheets, a TV that turned on with a button, and a bathroom with a shower that sprayed water like rain. I sat on the bed, my bag at my feet, and practiced my act in the mirror. Wide eyes, hesitant smile, a tilt of the head like I'd never seen a light bulb before. Perfect. Arjun arrived that evening, all tall and handsome in a crisp shirt and jeans. My heart swelled. He hugged me, and I let my eyes tear up, partly real, partly for effect. Ma, you look tired, he said, concerned. Was the journey okay? Oh, Beta, it was like flying on a kite. I exclaimed, clapping my hands. So many cars, so many lights. Tester than Diwali. He laughed, the sound warming me like ghee on a cold roti. Priya's excited to meet you. She's at her parents' place, but we'll go tomorrow. I nodded, folding my hands. Whatever you say, Beta. I'm just a village woman. I don't know city ways. He squeezed my shoulder. You're perfect, Ma. If only he knew. Priya's family lived in a bungalow that looked like a film star's house. White walls, a garden with roses, and a car parked in the driveway that probably cost more than our entire village. I wore my oldest sari, a plain blue one with a small hole near the hem. I'd rubbed some dust on my chap pals for authenticity. My hair was in a loose bun, a few strands grey and wild. I carried a cloth bag with homemade theplas and a jar of mango pickle, gifts from a poor mother-in-law. Priya opened the door herself. She was stunning. Sleek black hair, a silk kurta, and eyes that sparkled like the city lights. She smiled, but I caught the quick scan of my appearance. Her eyebrows lifted, just a fraction. Namaste, Auntie, she said, folding her hands. I bent low, touching her feet with exaggerated reverence. Bless you, Beatty. May you have 100 sons. She laughed, a polite tinkle. Oh, no need for that, Auntie. Come in. I shuffled inside, clutching my bag. The living room had a chandelier and a sofa so plush I sank into it like quicksand. Priya's mother, Mrs. Sharma, wore a designer sari and a diamond ring that could have bought our village well. Her father was on a phone call, barking about stocks and market crashes. Priya sat across from me, crossing her legs. Arjun says you're from a village near Bhagalpur. It must be so peaceful there. Oh, yes, Beatty, I said, widening my eyes. Just cows and fields. No noise, no rush. But this, I gestured vaguely at the room. This is like a palace. I've never seen anything so grand. Mrs. Sharma smiled tightly. It's just a house, Samanji. I nodded vigorously. Of course, of course. I'm just a simple woman. I don't know about these things. Priya offered me tea in a bone china cup. I held it with both hands, pretending I was afraid I'd drop it. So delicate. I gasped. In our village, we drink in steel glasses. Arjun chuckled, but Priya's smile seemed a little strained. Good. Let her think I'm out of my depth. The wedding was a 3-day affair, each event grander than the last. I played my part to perfection. At the mehendi, I gasped at the intricate designs on Priya's hands, claiming I'd only seen turmeric paste for brides in our village. At the Sangeet, I clapped along to the DJ's beats, pretending I'd never heard such music. I accidentally spilled some curry on my sari at the reception, dabbing at it with a napkin while apologizing profusely. Priya was polite, even kind. She introduced me to her friends as Arjun's sweet mom from the village. Her friends cooed over my theplos and asked me to teach them how to make pickle. I smiled humbly, all while watching Priya. She was confident, charming, but there was a sharpness to her. When Arjun wasn't looking, she'd correct the caterer or snap at a cousin who spilled juice. She liked control. One evening, I overheard her talking to her mother in the kitchen. She's so rustic, Priya whispered. Arjun says she's never even been to a mall. How's she going to adjust to our life? Mrs. Sharma hushed her. Be patient, Priya. She's his mother. You'll manage. Manage. The word stung, but I kept my face blank, stirring the chai I'd offered to make. I was winning. They saw me as no threat, just a bumbling village woman. After the wedding, Arjun and Priya moved into a flat in a high-rise. Arjun insisted I stay with them for a month to settle in. The flat was all glass and steel, with a kitchen that had more buttons than our village pump. I continued my act. I forgot how to use the microwave, burned toast in the toaster, and asked Priya to show me how to work the washing machine. She did, with a patience that felt increasingly forced. One day, I accidentally knocked over a vase. It was ugly anyway, all sharp angles and no soul. Priya gasped as it shattered. Oh, Beatty, I'm so sorry. I wailed, dropping to my knees to pick up the pieces. I'm so clumsy. We don't have such things in the village. It's fine, Auntie, Priya said through gritted teeth. It was just a vase. Arjun bought a new one the next day. I noticed Priya didn't display it prominently. I started small tests. I'd leave my prayer beads on the dining table, forcing Priya to move them. I'd cook pungent body choka, knowing the smell would linger. I'd hum old Bhojpuri songs while dusting, off-key on purpose. Priya's smiles grew thinner, but she never snapped. She was too smart for that. 3 weeks in, I pushed too far. I misplaced Priya's laptop charger, hiding it in my cloth bag. She spent an hour searching, her voice tight with frustration. Arjun was at work, so it was just us. Antiji, did you see my charger? She asked, opening drawers. I tilted my head. Charger? Is that the wire thing? Oh, Beatty, I don't know these city gadgets. She found it eventually, in my bag when I accidentally left it open. Her eyes narrowed. Antiji, was this here all along? I gasped, clutching my heart. How did that get there? I must have picked it up with my shawl. Forgive me, Beatty. She didn't buy it. I saw it in the way her jaw tightened. That night, she and Arjun had a low-voiced argument behind their closed door. I couldn't hear the words, but I heard her say, she's not as naive as she seems. My stomach twisted. Had I gone too far? The next morning, Priya was waiting for me in the kitchen. She'd made chai, strong and spiced just the way I liked it. I froze. This wasn't part of the script. Sit, Antiji, she said, her voice calm but firm. We need to talk. I sat, my hands trembling slightly. My act faltered. What is it, Beatty? She leaned forward, her eyes locking onto mine. I know what you're doing. I opened my mouth to protest, but she raised a hand. Don't. The spilled curry, the broken vase, the charger. You're testing me. You think I'm some city snob who'll push you out of Arjun's life. You're playing dumb to keep him guilty, to keep him yours. I stared, my carefully crafted mask crumbling. You're his mother, she continued. I respect that. But I'm his wife. This is our home, and I won't let you manipulate us with your village act. If you want to be part of this family, be real. Be Suman Devi, not this caricature. The room spun. She'd seen through me, every layer. I expected anger, but her voice was steady, almost kind. She wasn't attacking. She was drawing a line. I swallowed hard. You're right, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. I was scared. Arjun is all I have. I thought if I made you feel big, you'd keep me close. I was wrong. Priya's expression softened. I don't want to push you away. But I need trust. Not games. The next morning, Priya was waiting for me in the kitchen. She'd made chai, strong and spiced just the way I liked it. I froze. This wasn't part of the script. Sit, Antiji, she said, her voice calm but firm. We need to talk. I sat, my hands trembling slightly. My act faltered. What is it, Beatty? She leaned forward, her eyes locking onto mine. I know what you're doing. I opened my mouth to protest, but she raised a hand. Don't. The spilled curry, the broken vase, the charger. You're testing me. You think I'm some city snob who'll push you out of Arjun's life. You're playing dumb to keep him guilty, to keep him yours. I stared, my carefully crafted mask crumbling. You're his mother, she continued. I respect that. But I'm his wife. This is our home, and I won't let you manipulate us with your village act. If you want to be part of this family, be real. Be Suman Devi, not this caricature. The room spun. She'd seen through me, every layer. I expected anger, but her voice was steady, almost kind. She wasn't attacking. She was drawing a line. I swallowed hard. You're right, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. I was scared. Arjun is all I have. I thought if I made you feel big, you'd keep me close. I was wrong. Priya's expression softened. I don't want to push you away. But I need trust. Not games. 6 months later, I was back in the village, but I visited the city often. Arjun and Priya had planted a mango sapling in their balcony pot. For you, Ma, Arjun said. So you always have a piece of home. I watered it every visit, my hands steady, my heart full. Priya and I still had our moments. She'd roll her eyes when I left my prayer beads on the table, and I'd tease her for buying store-bought pickle. But we laughed more than we argued, acted like a poor, naive mother-in-law to protect my world. In the end, I found it was big enough for all of us. 6 months later, I was back in the village, but I visited the city often. Arjun and Priya had planted a mango sapling in their balcony pot. "For you, Ma," Arjun said. "So you always have a piece of home." I watered it every visit, my hands steady, my heart full. Priya and I still had our moments. She'd roll her eyes when I left my prayer beads on the table, and I'd tease her for buying store-bought pickle. But we laughed more than we argued, acted like a poor, naive mother-in-law to protect my world. In the end, I found it was big enough for all of us. The bus smelled of sweat, diesel, and desperation. Suman clutched her cloth bag, 2 saris, a steel tiffin of theplos, a jar of mango pickle, and a photo of Arjun at 12, his father's death anniversary. She wore her oldest sari, blue, torn at the hem. Rubber chap-pals cracked. Hair in a loose bun. No bindi, let them see poverty, she thought. At Delhi, the auto driver charged 300 Indian rupees for a 120 Indian rupees ride, meter Karab high, Antiji, he lied, she paid. First test passed, Sunshine Residency Hotel, glass doors, marble floors, receptionist in tie, name? Suman Devi, she said, voice trembling. My son booked. I don't know how these things work. He pitied her. Good, she practiced, wide eyes. I've never seen a lift, hesitant smile. Is this how you press buttons? Folded hands. Bless you, Beti, may you have 100 sons, she laughed at herself. Then cried, Arjun, forgive your mother. I'm scared. Ma. You look thin. Oh beta, village food is simple. But you, she touched his watch, this costs more than our cow. He laughed. Priya's excited. Tomorrow, her parents' house. Suman's stomach nodded. Showtime. Ma. You look thin. Oh beta, village food is simple. But you, she touched his watch, this costs more than our cow. He laughed. Priya's excited. Tomorrow, her parents' house. Suman's stomach nodded. Showtime, so delicate. We drink and steal. Priya, try the biscuits, Antiji. Suman bit one, crumbs everywhere. It melts like snow. Arjun beamed. Priya's smile tightened. Perfect, Suman, in village, we use turmeric paste. Priya's friend, teach us, Antiji. Suman drew a crooked peacock. Laughter. Priya rolled her eyes when no one looked. Noted, she accidentally stepped on Priya's dupatta during a twirl. Go Beti, I only know gabra on mud. Priya, it's fine, Antiji. Lie detected, my mother's recipe. No preservatives. Mrs. Sharma, how quaint. Priya sniffed, winced. Too pungent, Suman smiled. Weapon loaded, Suman cried real tears during Kanyadon. Priya whispered, don't worry, Antiji. I'll take care of him. Suman believed her, for a moment. Arjun, stay a month, Ma. Help Priya settle. Suman, I'll sleep on the floor. I'm used to charpoi. Priya, no, Antiji. Guest room. Too eager. Suspicious. It cooks without fire? She accidentally sets timer to 30 minutes for one roti. Smoke. Alarm. Priya rushes in. Antiji. Suman, forgive me, Beti. Village stoves don't beep. Suman dusts it, crash, oh no. I'll pay. Wait, I have Indian rupee 200, Priya, it's okay. It was a gift. She lies. It was expensive. Suman cooks litti choka. Smell lingers for days. Priya opens all windows. Ventilation, Antiji. Suman, in village, smell means love. Priya's nose wrinkles. Strike, Suman finds charger in her bag. How did it get here? Priya's eyes narrow.